I saw a disappearing stump in the same area.
Interesting. A disappearing stump.
Yes. And I can explain that one.
Yeah.
So I've had back problems, and they're service related. So I've had, treatments on my back. Unfortunately, it left me unable to walk for a while. So when I was able to walk, I walked all over the place like the doctor and the physical therapist said. So I'd walk from about where I am down to the tow road, walk in there, walk all over the place on uneven surfaces because that's what the doctor wanted me to do. And then when I was couldn't do it anymore, I'd walk back home, back here. And I did that day after day after day after day. It's just physical therapy. I have to. If I want to walk, I have to do it. So I walk this trail over and over every day. And in Alaska, this time of year, it doesn't really get dark. It's more twilight. So I walk this trail and I'm headed towards the tow. And I've looked at this same trail and everything in it a whole bunch of times. So everything's basically memorized. And as I walk up, and I'm a hunter, photographer, so I can tell you what's not really supposed to be in place. If I saw a place and something changed, I could pretty much tell you what it was. My brain will tell me there's something changed. Anyway, so I'm walking down this trail, and I'm looking to the right for no reason, and I see this big black stump. Now, the toe of the glacier is where the glacier is receding, meaning nothing can grow there quick enough that would be a 3-foot stump or more. That's impossible.
Gotcha.
Unless the thing's petrified. And I've walked this area a whole bunch and I've never seen it. So I stop and I look at it and I light up a cigarette and I'm thinking, I'm tired anyway because I'm hurting. And I look at this stump and I'm thinking, well, shit, I'm going to go sit on it. What is this thing? It's weird. It shouldn't be here. And I walk towards it and my feet get tangled in the brush. I look down, get them untangled and keep going. And I look up and it's gone.
Oh boy.
And one thing I hadn't told you is while I was watching this stump before I walked towards it, it opens its eyes. So on the side of the stump, its eyes opened.
Really?
And I was shocked. I'm like, what the F is this? So I thought whatever it was would get up and run away. That's why I was standing there slowly smoking this cigarette, looking at this thing. And it was it wasn't far at all. I don't know how many feet. It was a ways, I'm a bow hunter. It would be an easy shot, so 25, 30 yards. So I'm like, well, and then it closed its eyes and it turned it into you couldn't tell it wasn't anything else. I'm like, well, I'm going to go find out what it is. So I got a gun on, no big deal. So I walk towards it, get stuck in the brush a little bit, look up, it's gone. No sound at all. Hadn't rained it a couple of days. And I'm like, well, if I walk in there, it sounds like I'm, walking through a bunch of crushed up peanut shells or something. Boom. So I'm like, well, this is weird. So I walk back in there anyway, and I look around for 15 to 20 minutes. I look up in the trees. I look at the ground. I'm fairly good at tracking. Nothing's disturbed. And I'm thinking, wow, what in the world? So I walk back to the road or the trail. I walk down to the tow, do my thing, and walk home. And as I walk home, I use the same trail. And I keep looking to my left, which is where that area was. And I see nothing. No big deal. So I go home and, next day I get up and I have to go walking. So eventually I go walking, and this day it's later. So it's probably 11 o'clock, something like that. And I go walking because I put it off. It hurts. I don't want to do it, but I do it. So I go out there and the same trail. And I keep looking to the right because that's where I saw the disappearing stump. And I'm walking along looking for this stump looking thing. And I stop because something tells my brain, well, something's out of place. So I look and I'm studying the area, and I hurt really bad at that point. And I'm scanning the area, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to spend any much time on it. And I'm about to leave, and I look over, and behind this spruce tree that's about 12 feet high is, it's like a traditional Bigfoot standing there, except for this was jet black. You couldn't see anything, light coming off it. And it was still a little bit light. It's bluish light here. And it didn't move. I couldn't see its face. I didn't know if it was looking at me or looking the other way. I assumed it was looking at me. And it was enormous. It was 12 feet tall, 5.5 feet wide. And it's like my brain didn't register what it was until it did. And it was like, oh shit. So I raised my right hand and I said, hey, big brother. And I turned and I walked away and walked down the toe and did my thing.
Wow.
And eventually I came back because it's really the only way to get home this way. So I come back and I'm freaked out. I'm looking behind me and stuff, but it didn't seem to bother. I got this feeling that it was watching the trail. It didn't give a crap about me. So anyway, I walk back that area and I'm really worried. And I keep looking all over the place, especially to my left. And I see nothing. That was the end of it.